My next guest has been making documentaries for nearly 50 years. His latest, The American Revolution, premieres this Sunday on PBS. Please welcome back to The Late Show, Ken Burns. Good to see you again.
Good to be with you.
Really enjoying The American Revolution. Evan and I we got to episode 3 last night, and I had to stop just to rehydrate because I didn't know that you could make me openly weep over George Washington addressing his troops.
Yeah.
You're a wizard. Okay, also, there's so many amazing performances in this because, again, you don't have the photography
Right, no
that you
film,
had in the
no
Civil War.
newsreel.
No newsreel. But you have these incredible actors who have lent their voices to many of your films over the years, but this is extraordinary. Tom Hanks, Meryl Streep, Ethan and Maya Hawke, Claire Danes, Samuel L. Jackson, Paul Giamatti, and Edward Norton, just to name a few. And I'm asking for a friend who's going to need a job. How does one land a gig with Ken Burns? I could do that. My dearest Martha, I can do it.
Well, what we've usually done is waited for people when they weren't working. So, you know, if you know somebody that's going to be out of work, just let me know, and
sure,
we'll have a tryout.
I'll write it on his bathroom mirror in soap.
Yeah.
Okay, as I said, the latest film is The American Revolution. How long have you been working on this, The American Revolution?
It is now 9 years and 11 months, almost. So we began when Barack Obama had 13 months to go in his presidency.
Sure. So, a million years ago.
A million years ago, exactly.
Now, you've said that this is a good time for us to look at this particular story. Why now?
Well, I mean, obviously, we feel that we're so divided, and I think you can treat a country the way you might treat an individual. If someone's in crisis, you see a pastor or you see a professional, and the first thing they ask you is, who are your parents? Where were you born? What was your childhood like? You get the origin story, and you sort of begin to rebuild. And I think going back for anyone, whatever your politics may be, and understanding where we came from, what the story of us is, helps to put you back together again.
We have a clip right here, Ken. What do we need to know, and why was this a moment you wanted to share with us?
Yeah, well, so we've been following lots of people, dozens of people that you've never heard of, a lot of the top-down people you have. But one of the people is a German Hessian soldier named Captain Johann Ewald, and he's openly contemptuous of these rebels, as he calls them. But he also happens to be in the surrendering army at, spoiler alert, Yorktown. Wow. And he's got the sort of the last word of the Battle of Yorktown for us.
With what soldiers in the world could one do what was done by these men? One can perceive what an enthusiasm which these poor fellows call liberty can do. Who would have thought 100 years ago that out of this multitude of rabble would arise a people who could defy kings? Johann Ewald.
There's so many beautiful letters and from people that we don't know. There's so many things to learn about the American Revolution that I had no idea. For instance, I was so surprised to find out how many people in New York, after New York, the Battle of Brooklyn Heights or Battle of Long Island, after Washington just got his ass handed to him.
Because of a mistake he makes.
Yes, exactly. And then they managed to get over to Manhattan, but then they also get driven out of Manhattan. And,
exactly.
You know, so the British come in and they go, hey, anybody who wants to renounce your independence, you're all cool and you can come fight for us. And thousands of New Yorkers signed something called the Declaration of Dependence.
And they flocked in. This is happening not just in New York, but all over New Jersey as the Brits take over there. New York is ceded to the British on September 15th, 1776, just a couple months after the Declaration. It will not be back in George Washington's American hands until November 25th, 1783. That is 7 years and 2+ months. It is a stronghold for Loyalists and the British Army here. right here.
A real conflict between loyalists. We think of the Civil War as being like brother against brother, but also the Revolution.
I think in our Civil War, it's a sectional war. Maybe the brother against brother happened 5 times, but it is the story of the Revolution. Benjamin Franklin's own son was the royal governor of New Jersey, and he was deposed, and he spent some time in prison, and it was assumed he would go back to England when he was released, and instead he started a terrorist organization killing patriots, just as there were patriot organizations killing loyalists. It is an unbelievable civil war, and you don't want to be in New Jersey or South Carolina when it happens. So sorry.
South Carolina,
that's the
Moultrie drove off the British fleet. No one else did that.
No. Exactly. In the very beginning in 76.
Don't you talk smack about South Carolina. Beyond the obvious history and it's an exciting story.
It is.
What do you hope audiences take from this?
Well, first of all, this is the most important event in world history since the birth of Christ. This is the beginning of the time when human beings were no longer subjects, but citizens. Thomas Jefferson, a couple sentences after Pursuit of Happiness, which is the second greatest sentence in the English language, we hold these truths to be self-evident. The first one is, of course, I love you. He says, all experience has shown that mankind are more disposed to suffer while evils are sufferable. Very easy to understand. It means heretofore everybody is put up with the authoritarian rule, and right now we are breeding a new class of people who are resistant to that, who are citizens, who have to show a virtuous life in order to earn this honor of being a citizen. And I think for us right now, I would like us to go back into this origin story, all of us, and collect how we began, and maybe collectively we can all put the us back in the U.S.
Ken, thanks so much for being here. Thank you for the beautiful film. The American Revolution, which has a beautiful companion book, premieres this Sunday on PBS. Ken Burns, everybody. We'll be right back.